my Feel Good Breakfast Show.
Welcome back to your Feel Good Breakfast Show. A great start to the day. Today we are taking your calls on a wondrous new diet pill and whatever health-related questions you have. Dr. Darren Green joins us, and we have a caller on the line immediately. We are talking to Portia all the way from Soweto. Portia, very good morning to you.
Good morning.
Morning.
Portia, what is your question for the doctor?
Doctor, I'm a 47-year-old and I'm worried about my hormones. I tried losing weight, I'm exercising and all that, but I see it's very slowly. And I try another capsule, Zenical. It is trying to work, but not effectively as I want it to be. What can I use? Is it maybe my hormones or what?
Yes, great question.
That is a very good question.
And firstly, she's got a lot going on. At the age of 47, the body's moving into its transition stage of becoming not fertile. In other words, not being prepped to carry children. So the hormone profile changes. Estrogen levels are busy dropping, for example. So that in itself affects metabolism. It affects bone health, your skeleton, etc. The pill she mentions that she is on is Zenical. That's very important because that actually works on blocking fat being absorbed in the body. And the most common side effect with that, Portia, is that it actually contributes towards a lot of indigestive problems. So you have, for example, things like steatorrhea, which where you have your stool passing right through the gut surrounded by large amounts of fat. It can be quite unpleasant. Along with that, obviously, you could have digestive system symptoms of bloating. Along with that, obviously, things like indigestion and pain and cramping and that kind of thing. So it's not a natural way of the body digesting the food that you are consuming, and remember that. So the question is also, how do you return to normal after that? To increase your rate at which you lose weight, you have to look specifically at how to increase your metabolism, and that involves not just what you eat, but how frequently you eat, and also the amount of energy you're expending through things like exercise, the type of exercise, the frequency of your exercise, and then sleep and water consumption are extremely important.
I'm just going to add to that my own question. When it comes to hormones, what should be looking at there? Is there a treatment that she can focus on specifically at her age?
Yes, so remember there are a lot of pills out there, not pills, but injectable hormones. And one of them, for example, is the pregnancy hormone, beta-HCG injections, which actually make your body sense that you're pregnant. So it burns those extra reserves of fat.
Draws that deep level fat, yeah.
That's right, and increases the metabolism in that way. Also, obviously, long-term studies on that are not available to look at some of the side effects associated with that specific diet. So she would have to consider that as well. But, you know, the other hormones that are involved in metabolism, big ones, especially if you're struggling to lose weight, are the thyroid hormone.
I was going to ask, yeah.
Yeah, it controls completely the rate at which food is burnt. So you find people that have an underactive thyroid are often obese or overweight. And if they have an overactive thyroid with too much thyroid hormone, then they're actually burning too quickly and they become really thin with anxiety symptoms and palpitations, etc. And the other big hormone is cortisol, the stress hormone. So our bodies respond to stress by secreting large amounts of cortisol, and before they get depleted and you have complete burnout, that cortisol carries with it a lot of associated factors that contribute towards fat and obesity.
All right, covered a broad section there. I hope that helps you out, Portia. Now, we've got Helen from Johannesburg, who is hypoglycemic by the sounds of things. Very good morning, Helen.
Good morning. Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
I joined the Vitality program recently, and they took some blood tests and blood pressure and everything, and by the time I saw the dietitian, we didn't have the results, but in the report they said I'm hypoglycemic. I suppose that's low blood sugar, and I must be very careful, but I don't know what to do.
Great question. Hypoglycemic. So,
hypoglycemic, yeah.
You know, hypos are actually more dangerous than having high sugars. Because when you get hypoglycemic, your level of consciousness, your jitteriness, your level of consciousness can actually depress.
Yeah.
And then you can have falling episodes and go into a low sugar coma. If the brain doesn't get enough oxygen and sugar for a sustained period of time, you can actually develop irreversible damage to the brain. So it's essential that she looks specifically at the type of foods she's eating and why her levels are dropping so low. Is she eating food that's perhaps too high in sugar that spikes up the level and then depletes and takes her into a low trough? Often if there's a problem with insulin control and insulin levels, she might have to be tested for diabetes as well. So diabetes can also manifest with low blood sugar. It doesn't always have to manifest with high blood sugar.
And this says to me that you're looking at a long-term change in your diet. It's not a quick fix.
And something sustainable. And certainly for her, the type of food she eats is going to be important. Also having that emergency snack when she starts feeling a bit jittery and things going down, that she'll need to pop, you know, something like a cookie or a biscuit in a bag.
All right, Doctor, thank you so much.
Absolute
Hugely
pleasure.
interesting as always.
Thank
we
you.
will continue the conversation on our Facebook page, but keep letting us know if you are on a particular diet regime or a diet pill that is having wondrous effects for you, and we'll watch this story and this particular drug very, very closely. Well, still a jam-packed show on the way this morning. Kat, what's next, sir?